provides for violations and penalties, and will be effective within 5 days of the date of adoption. So if you don't have any questions, then the motion would be to authorize advertising of the ordinance.
But I have a few questions. So you mentioned a fee by resolution. Does that have to be attached to this resolution? So, let's say the resolution gets passed and someone comes in and wants to fill out, what's the fee?
To be determined by you. And so we'll pass this as an ordinance, so it'll be a requirement, but then the fee would be adopted. You could adopt it beginning January, you could adopt it next month. But then next year that may change. It may go up or down depending on what you see happening with the blasting. So the fee you want to be able to change a lot quicker than you do the ordinance. Ordinance, of course, advertising, etc. Resolution you can do quicker.
Okay, and this minimum of $1 million insurance or bond, where does that number come from?
Out of thin air. We can change that if you like.
So I guess I'd like to ask our engineer, is that sufficient? And let's,
I'd like to look at that and give you an answer on it, on what the municipality would do.
I mean, let's say there's some catastrophic blasting catastrophe and 10 houses are destroyed with $1 million. I'm just trying to understand. Can you say,
You're more
they
likely to
still-
have a crack in the foundation or turbidity in a well than a house destroyed or some sort of a massive explosion. So you're really looking at insurance that would cover property damage, and that property damage would conceivably be, well water's not clear anymore, or the house foundation is cracked. So I certainly wouldn't want to see it less than $1 million. But I'd like to look at some of the other business around the municipality, and I can simply do that with a recommendation to the solicitor as he's preparing that ordinance, if that would be satisfactory.
And I do have Skipback Township's ordinance, and they have it at $2 million.
Yeah, we have, there's a range, when we look at other ordinances, from 300,000 to 2 million was the range of fire insurance.
but that doesn't preclude an individual from suing the blaster, even if it's beyond $1 million.
Not at all. What it does is provide for some pocket so that, as sometimes they do, that you have a shell corporation who might not have any assets. So this provides for some ability to compensate somebody who's been harmed.
Okay. Can I assume that since Carol recommended a 3,000-foot, that would be changed throughout this document from 1,500 to 3,000? Or is it just in that one case?
That wasn't my recommendation, I apologize.
Yeah, that was
That's what
Mark.
you guys, when we spoke about this in September, you guys chose 3,000 feet for.
So that would have to be reflected on the entire
That's for notification. We can take that 3,000 feet and apply it to Section 5, the pre-blast survey.
Okay. Is that what you're recommending on?
Again, the notifications, when the notifications went from 5 to 3,000, I want to say the 1,500 feet for the survey was a pretty good number.
But then in Section 6, you're suggesting 3,000 feet
Yeah, that was more for the
for
notice.
notification. So I have another question about that is, we're requiring proof of notification. What would that look like? Certified letters?
We just say written notification.
Okay, but
And then the content of that would be in subsection A there. Provide a prior notice. The notification shall include at a minimum the day, the time, specific location, street address, duration of the blasting activity, the name and cell number of the applicant's designated contact person to handle emergencies.
and then Section B says, if the property owners aren't home, you have to put this written notice to the door. So it's my understanding they're not going to put this written notice in the mail. They're going to take it physically to the door, knock on the door, and hand it to an individual.
And I can make that even more clear if you want. Applicants must distribute by hand written notice.
So that's what it sounds like.
If that's your preference.
But that's what it sounds like.
Right.
I don't know what is standard. what was said.
I don't know that there
There's
is.
all kinds of-
Yeah, I don't know there is a standard, and if we give them the options, they'll go with the path of least resistance and do the least form of notification possible. Mail, my concern is the time that it takes. I like the idea of the hand delivery, and then if somebody's not home, put it on the front door. If they're not picking up at the front door within 2 weeks,
Okay,
that's tough. So I'll change that to must distribute by hand.
okay, and then at the blasting protocol, section 7, adhere to a blasting protocol that is established. When is that going to happen?
So subsequently, just as we would do with the fee, and that could be as early as tonight, where you tell your engineer and building inspector, I want you to put your heads together and come up with some protocols.
Okay, so that, these are pending items.
Right.
Okay. And then what's the penalty for non-compliance?
That's section 9, a fine of up to $1,000. And the skip back had it at 400, I think it was. And so I upped that, trying to bring it to present. Plus court costs, reasonable attorney's fees incurred by the township in enforcing this chapter.
But do we have any other things in our toolkit? So for example, if they're not complying, we can fine them, can we also shut down the project?
Yes, so the last sentence, the appropriate officers or agents of the township are hereby authorized to seek equitable relief, including injunction, to enforce compliance, and that would be up at the court of common pleas as opposed to this local agent.
But can we just shut down the project if they don't comply?
We can't ourselves, but we can get a court order to do
Okay,
that.
okay,
Yes.
all right, thank you.
Andy, I have a couple of questions myself.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. The fee schedule. So that would just be with all the other fees that this township has
Yes.
as well. So we would just update it, correct?
Correct.
Okay. In terms of section 4, the insurance, what's prohibiting us from changing that from 1 million to 2 million?
Nothing. So if that's what the board likes, then-
I would personally suggest putting it at 2 million, but I can't speak for Terry or Marlo.
that makes sense here, and there is certainly some history with that. Oh, the skip back. That's it. You want to make a motion on that? Change it now? Or just direction, and then your motion eventually will be to authorize advertising. 2 million, okay. Comments?
I would suggest 2 million.
Makes sense.
Additionally, under section 5, where the survey is taking place, we're changing that number, I believe, to 3,000 now, if I'm correct.
Well, we can, I haven't yet, but if you think, the thinking was with the notification, they're going to hear the noise, and so you want a further distance.
Right.
With the survey, the effects of it are going to be felt to a lesser extent.
Right.
So that's why the 15, we could up it to 3,000. It's a question of, on any given area, how many structures are involved.
My actual question is not based on the distance, it's more, I read right after that, inside or outside of Lower Frederick Township. Now, is that on the contractor or subcontractor to then work with that neighboring municipality to get that done? Or can we, as a local governing authority, actually state what they can do in an outside municipality?
You can with the survey, to an extent, they need the cooperation of the property owners, but if they're going, for instance, outside our township, then they're going to go on roads, what have you, where they can conduct the survey, unless they get permission. So may they be hamstrung to an extent? Yes. But we have no control
Right.
over that. We're just telling them, go out and get a survey and show us where any structures may be affected.
Thank you.
Good. Bob?
Bob Burns, Centerville Road. I believe right now our permit fee is $150 for them to file and then $50 per day, but it doesn't have a duration. So like over Augusta, they blasted like 4 or 5 times. They showed up, maybe stayed a week or 2, left. When does that permit end? So if they're there for a consecutive period of time and they leave for more than 4 days, shouldn't they technically have to get another permit to resume?
Yeah, I think are you focused on the fee or the permit itself?
Well, both, but as far as the permit itself, if they're coming in and they're going to blast the whole month of June and they're not coming back until August to blast again, December to blast again, I think they need to get a new permit each and every time.
So they certainly need to notify for each of those days that they're going to be blasting. We don't have a shelf life for the permit.
Except in the notification, aren't they required to say how long they're going to be there?
Yes.
So if they say in the notification, we're going to take 5 days, then that permit will be expired if after 5
On
days.
its terms, right, but
Right.
because the application was for X number of days. Right. And so I think maybe to the point Bob's making is when we look at a fee, have an initial application fee, but then have a per day fee. So that we know.
I think that's what we have right now. It's $150 for the initial application and $50 a day splits in our township fee schedule.
George?
I'm going to get to the insurance aspect of this. Even $2 million is not a lot of money today. A lot of smaller contractors are required to carry this $4 million coverage. And even if they have a $1 million policy and they have $3 million in umbrella insurance, that already gets $4 million. I mean, potentially there could be some major problems, depends on who's doing the job. So, I don't think that's a whole lot to ask for. That just covers everybody's bases, I think.
Could do something $2 million per occurrence, $4 million in the aggregate. And that might address that situation. Yes.
Gail, Officer Gerloff, this goes back to what Bob says, and maybe we were trying to answer it there. But if, and I don't understand investing that well, but what happens if there's like inclement weather that postponed or delayed the activity? Would they have to schedule the day that they're going to do it and have to re-notify people? And that could be a kind of what a particular blast.
I'd have to defer to the township engineer as regards to blasting, because like you, I'm no expert in it.
So there's a clause in here that says that the blasting contractor or subcontractor shall provide the township building inspector, township engineer, and fire marshal with a plan showing the location of blasting activities 5 days in advance of such activity. So I would envision that if it got shifted, we at the township building, the township engineer, and the fire marshal would have that information. The question is, how do we relay that to the residents? And I don't have an easy answer to that.
As we spoke about the blasting before, anytime that a person would come in and give us dates for blasting, it would be putting door numbers on doors if the people aren't there. The township will still put it out on Facebook, we'll put it out on our website, and make everyone aware of that. Inclement weather, we would work with the and work with everyone to make sure everyone gets notified.
Can't the notice just simply state something along the lines of a secondary date due to any type of inclement weather?
Yeah, given the way this is structured, if I were the blaster, I think I'd be sending out a notice that says, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be blasting. And then maybe I do it Monday, but then I don't pick it up again until Wednesday. I have my notice out to everybody. So even with inclement weather or what have you, I think that they're going to cover themselves with a very broad notice.
So that would be up to them to do that. Any other questions?
So is the resolution that, given all of these changes and modifications, we're going to approve to advertise it, or do we need to see it again?
You can do it either way. So if you would like to see it again, I can make the changes and then come the 5th, Tuesday, yeah, I can get that back to you and distribute it. Right, and then we can advertise it, it's non-salvo, so I advertise one time. We might even have it ready for the 17th. So, yeah, there's enough revisions here. Let me make them, let me circulate it, and then you can make your decision on the 5th.
So we'll revisit this briefly next week.
Yes. Budget.
Yep, thank you. All right. Here's our second presentation on the budget for 2020. Again, the budget timeline, November 6th we did the first budget presentation. Today we're going to do the second presentation and do a tentative adoption of the budget. Tomorrow, if we tentatively approve the budget, the board tentatively approves the budget tonight, it will be available for public review at the Township building. And on December 17th, we will finally do the final adoption of the 2020 budget. General fund. Look back in the past and work with our treasurer. 2016, the general fund budget had revenue of $1.649 million and had expenditures of $1.946 in the budget, which was approved. Net income deficit of $297,000. In 2017 and 2018, there was a fund balance forward in the revenue side of the budget, which then made the revenue look a little bit more than it actually was. If you take that fund balance forward out, and what the fund balance forward did was use money out of reserves to cover the budget. Now again, this is just budget numbers, this isn't actual, but this is the budget that was passed. So you can see that in both 17 and 18, we also were running in a deficit of $300,000. Last year's budget was approved at 1.7 million in revenue and 2.1 million in expenses. And then the original budget that was proposed on the 6th has a 1.9 million in revenue and 2.3 in expenses. But I wanted to show the history that happened in the past. So this year, the 2019 budget, the 2019 revenues projected to come in around 1.873 million. Our expenses are projected to come in around 2.89 million. And then our deficit is projected to be around 216,000, which is less than the budget that was passed. 2020, we looked, the board, looked at the budget. We showed the deficit of 375,000. So we looked at ways to work on the budget. So we looked and decreased the budget expenses by approximately 151,000. We're looking at increasing the revenue by approximately 123,000. And this will leave approximately 100,000 left to cover with the reserve funds. To decrease the expenses, we removed the police car, we made some minor adjustments in healthcare, decreased contracted services, decreased public works material, decreased capital equipment, and moved the salt purchase to the liquid fuels fund. Increase in revenue, the average home in Lower Frederick is the assessed at $127,000. Currently, the residents pay 1.88 mills to the township. Proposing to raise the millage for the township to 2.35 mills in 2020. Average tax bill will go from $241 to $301 for the township portion of the tax. The total average tax bill for residents would be $361. That would include the fire portion and the ambulance portion. Increase in revenue going from 1.88 mils to 2.35 mils would be a 25% increase in the real estate tax. The proposed increase in residents would be approximately 16.6 cents per day or $5 per month. This is the slide that I showed you last time. It just was updated with the new numbers. $301 for the township, $34 for the fire company, and $26 for the ambulance. Total taxes paid by a resident in Lower Frederick Township for all three, the school, the county, and the township would be $5,175. Again, the school is the bulk of that, 84.46%. The county is at 9.64%, and then the township is at 5.9%.
So, can I answer this question? Do we know if any of those other two taxes are going to increase? Can you go back one slide?
Yeah.
Do we know if the county taxes or the school taxes are going up?
We do know the school will be in July,
Okay.
and I haven't heard anything. That's okay. Yeah. So our revenue still is, the majority of the revenue comes from the earned income tax. With the increase, it would bump up the real estate tax. Our expected revenue then for 2020 would be $2,037,774. Our proposed budget expenditures. This slide shows the different things: the police, public works, general government, tax collection, emergency management, and building parks. In 2020, we still plan on paving the upper portion of Schrank Road, 2nd Avenue, Woodside Avenue, and Evergreen Road. Try to work on the boardroom acoustics, as I hear my voice echo. Replace the HVAC unit in the police department, and then do the sidewalk installation along the Ocean Road. Proposed expenditures come in for a total of $2,137,665. So expected revenue, less your expenses gives us a budget deficit of $99,891. Budget deficit will be covered by the township reserve funds. And the sewer fund has pretty much stayed perfectly the same, some very, very minor adjustments.